Hello, here's the second part video. I will discuss the payment term and the approval process under the basic configuration under the accounts payable. We still enter the supplier's activities, and here we can define the payment term for procurement. The payment term defines when an invoice must be paid and whether a discount is applicable if payment is made before the due date. Now let's take a look. The setting including the payment term right here, the ID payment term, and the descriptions, and the calculate due date based on receipt date or the invoice date. Downstairs, we can detail the setting the payment term. Okay, let's take a look samples. For example, the payment term 01 and description is the due net payable immediately, so which means which have the 0 number of days after invoice date and the due date is coming. So if we choose this, the 30 days net due, in setting part we just put the 30 days at here at the net price dues at here. Okay, so for this examples is 14 days 3%, 30 day 2%, and 60 day due net, which means it's paid before the first 14 days, you will achieve 3% of discount. If you pay 30 days, you will only achieve 2% discount. And net due is the 60%, and setting is here. So this discount rate 1 guaranteed is to set 3% and 14 days, and so on. If you feel this is not enough for your company, so you can also add a row and customize your payment term. That is the payment term. So next we're going to talk about approval procedures. To find these activities, we go back to the activity list, and the name is pretty tricky. It's called business task management. Business task management for payment and liquidity management. So we just search the business task management for, and we'll find a lot of similar activities. I'm just waiting it. Okay, so here we can find a lot the similar settings, including the business task management for customer care, for logistics, for projects, and also for supplier invoicing. But what we found is that the payment and liquidity management we added to project and change the status to in process and open it. We enter that, we can see the payment approved for outgoing payment and for incoming payment. So outgoing payment, which means the payment received, it means like the payment, and incoming payment is that like receivables. So we enter in there, we can see a lot of things. So I just discuss what is that. This is the approval procedures. That is very, very important part of the ByDesign system. The importance of this setting is that by receiving the amount that exceeds the threshold, we can see here have the threshold amount. The auditor, or say the approver, is designed, which increase the security of the company's cash flow. Right here, just here, we can set the threshold amount of the payment. It is worth noticing that the approval can only be set to a single level approval in the ByDesign system, not the multiple level approval. Does this show that ByDesign system is not good in securities? I don't think so. My opinion is that single level approval is sufficient for payment. The reason is that in the purchase order, the purchase contract, the inbound delivery, the supplier invoice, and other steps around the procure to pay business scenario, the approval procedures and the approvers can be set during those process. So which means it is security enough. So the next question is that who is the approver? To appoint the approvers, we need to another work centers. I'm going to find that organizational management work centers, and here have the employee work distribution. Right here we're going to find the payables. The payable is for the outgoing payment. Income payment is the receivable. So back here we edit it. So right there we can determine the companies and its who is responsible for the approval. And also we have the validate from and to, start and end on. That is the approval process. And this is all key things about the basic configuration under the accounts payables. That's for today. See you next video. Have a nice day.